Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Today's video is delusional of me, but we're going to be doing a 10 before the end. I'm aware that November's almost over and all we have left is December, but I'm going to try anyway because they're all books that have either been on my TBR for a very long time or just books that I really want to read. So I figured we could do this, and then I have a fun video coming up soon that we can kind of tackle these books together. So with all that being said, let's get straight into it and see what 10 books I want to read before the end of the month, or the end of the year, which is literally in a month. Okay, so starting off very strong is a book I've been saying I was going to read for so long now. It's actually a book that I'm going to be buddy reading with 2 of my friends. So it's just taking like all 3 of us to band together and say, hey, we're ready to start this series. But The Assassin's Blade. I have not been in the Masterverse, is that what they call it? The Sarah J. Maas universe. I haven't been there in a very long time. I think it was actually, I think this month makes a year since I finished the ACOTAR series, and I didn't really finish that with a good note because I hated the last book like so much. So I'm really excited to get into this, but I think that's also kind of putting like a sour taste in my mouth, which wouldn't really make sense because I love the whole series, but that one book, I just freaking hated it. And so now I'm scared. I'm scared to get back into it. I'm scared to get very invested and just like be upset with choices that are made or whatever the case may be. But I'm also really excited because her writing and how much those books mean to me personally is just insane. So I feel like I will really like this series, but at the same time, it's fantasy. So I'm nervous. So I don't know. I really hope to read this one at least before the year's over so I can say, hey, I started Throne of Glass. Don't know when I'll finish it, but at least I started it. But we'll see, because I have to get all the other girls on board and I just don't know where they're at with this series. I feel like they're kind of in the same boat as me. Like they want to read it, but they don't. Like, I don't know. So that's where we're at with this one. It's a fantasy. Sarah J. Maas writes the ACOTAR series. That is a series I will recommend until the day I die. If you have not read that, I would strongly suggest it. Throne of Glass, if you have read it, please give me some motivation because homegirl is struggling. Okay, and the next book on my list is going to be Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, because I actually got this book for my 21st birthday, which was last year, from my best friend Oaf, and I still haven't read it. And like, I low-key feel bad about it, and she probably does not care, but I feel bad because I got it forever ago and I've still yet to read it. This is on my list simply because of how long it's been on my list, and I'm always like, oh, well, I want to read it at Christmas. So last Christmas passed, didn't read it. This Christmas is here, so I want to read it because, I don't know, why do I have to read it? I've read hockey in every single season that there is. I'm being weird about it, I don't know why. But it's on the top of my hit list because I hear so much about Nate Hawkins. I wanna say that's his name. Yeah. See, I haven't even read the book and I literally know the guy's name because he's talked about so much as such a good MMC, but I have just yet to read it. So in this book, I'm pretty sure Anastasia and I just forgot his name, Nate, I'm pretty sure they have to like share the court for some reason. So she's worked her entire life to get on this team and it looks like everything's going right. She's got a scholarship, Nothing will stand in her way, not even the captain of the hockey team, Nate Hawkins. So you got a hockey team and a figure skater girl. Okay, and his focus as team captain is keeping the team on the ice, which is tricky when facilities mishap mean they're forced to share a rink with figure skating team. Okay, so it's like this forced proximity sports romance, and I just love everything about that. And I've heard like, have you guys seen those TikTok trends where they're saying like these gruesome, horrible things about books and they're like putting them back and then they grab them because like interest is piqued? This was in one of those videos and I did not know this book got down like that. So it kind of makes me want to read it even more. And also the fact of Wildfire and Daydream, I want to read those. I have yet to read any Hannah Grace, so I really want to get into her and just how much Oaf loves this book, it makes me want to read it. So that is going to be number 2. I actually want to start her really soon. Okay, number 3, please don't laugh at me. It's not funny at this point. Like, I've been saying I was going to read this book for 2 years now? I don't even know, like I've lost count, it's ridiculous. I actually picked it up like a year and a half ago, got the tabs that matched the book, the pins that matched the book, and then I got distracted with another book. So we're back here with Pack Up the Moon, and I really want to read this book. I have just yet to freaking do it. So honestly, I'm pretty sure this is like a sobbing book, but every month a letter, that's what Lauren decides to leave her husband when she finds out she's dying. So it's a sob for sure. Each month she gives Josh a letter containing a task to help him face the first year without her, leading him on a heart-rending, beautiful, often humorous journey to find his happiness again in this new novel, da 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 da. So depressing, okay? So his wife's dying and she's like, I don't want you to be sad when I'm gone. So she's going to help him, try to help him at least, figure out how to do the world when she is no longer in it. And that's just so sad, like even thinking about that, like the first letter is going to break my heart, but I really want to read it. I've heard so much about this book ever since joining Bookstagram, hence why it's been on my TBR for such a long time. So I really want to get into this one, and I swear to God, if I end this year without reading this book, I quit. I quit everything, because what the heck, it's not that hard. Pick it up and read it, Michaela. And number 4 is a tad random, I'm not going to lie, but The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I read the first book, The Inheritance Games, didn't really care for it, but I read the second book, The Hawthorne Legacy, and I like fell in love with these characters and the universe and the storyline. So I definitely want to continue this series super soon, which is why I added The Final Gambit. It's a very easy read. It's mysterious, so you keep like wanting to turn the page because it's keeping you guessing and all that good stuff. So I figured this could be a good like quick palate cleanser for all the other books that I have over here, because it does get a tad crazy. But she just wrote the other one so well, and the first one, maybe I was just in a wrong place when I read it, I really don't know, but I just love the second one, so it has me wanting to pick up this one, especially after reading the back of it. What happens is this old guy dies and he leaves his entire inheritance to this teenage girl that literally the whole family is like, who is she? Like, we don't even know her. So in order to get the inheritance and all that, she has to live in this house with all the family for I think a year or 2 years or something like that without leaving the property. Obviously she can go on like trips, but I think it's extended to like 2 days max or something. But she has to stay in the house, stay alive. Like there's a huge inheritance hanging over her head. There's people that want it, not just the family. So there's other outsiders and all that trying to just make it to where she doesn't last and she doesn't make it through this year, because if she does, it's hers. If she doesn't, it's up for grabs. So I just felt like this was really intriguing, and the way the blurb sounds on the back just sounded really intense. So I'm really excited to get back into the series, finish this series, and see what happens in the end. Like, I'm really rooting for my girl Avery, but at the same time, the love triangle, like girl, if you don't pick the right one, I swear to God, because there's only one right one, and we know who that is. Okay, and the next book is going to be a new release, Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. Guys, if you have heard me talk about this series before, you know that I have been patiently waiting on this book since literally Done and Dusted. I read Done and Dusted and I absolutely loved it, but I just really wanted Teddy's story. So last year I low-key fell like very hard in love with the cowboy slash western vibe romances. Shout out Elsie Silver, because that's like the reason Chestnut Springs just stole my heart, and I've loved cowboys ever since. So when everybody was screaming about Lila Sage's book, I just had to read it, and Done and Dusted was so good. Swift and Saddled was good, but it was not as good to me, in my opinion. So I'm super excited for this one just because I wanted his story from the very beginning. I feel like it's going to be so good, and I've heard that she absolutely killed it with this book. And yeah, I just don't want to let her sit, because I'm so bad about talking about how excited I am for new releases, and then they get here and they just sit here and I don't even read them. So we're not gonna let this happen with this one, because I just want to read it and figure out what he gets, how his story goes. I'm so excited for him. I'm so excited. Okay, so the next book is honestly very ambitious of me. There's a few ambitious books in here, but this one, I wanted to finish the series as a whole before the year was over, but the last 2 books are just so chunky that I don't think that's gonna happen, and I'm trying not to be mass Delulu, just like a little bit, you know? So we threw Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince on there. I'm actually currently reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which I'm loving, but it took a while for the book to pick up. So I don't know what to expect with this one, especially since I'm not done with Order of the Phoenix yet. That sounded like it got jumbled, but I am very excited. Like, I'm so excited to close out this series so that I can finally see like all of the movies and just be done with it. Like, I don't want to be done because I'm loving Harry Potter, but it's going to be very bittersweet because all these books are honestly like long. Like, the chapters are so long and I never know how to act with it. So that's why it's taken me so long to get through this series, but I'm ready to finish. Like, my dad raves about Deathly Hallows all the time. He's like, I can't wait for you to see that one. And I'm just like, dude, stop because it's just making me want to read Harry Potter strictly, and I have so many other things I want to read. So hopefully I can finish Order of the Phoenix this week, and then we can move on to this as soon as possible because these books do take me a little while. So why did I throw them in here with 9 other books? That's a great question. I'm not sure, but Harry Potter. Okay, don't laugh at me again, but I've been saying I was going to read Darling Venom for legit 2 years now. I think it's literally been 2 years and I have yet to do so. So we're going to put her on the 10 before the end, and I went so back and forth. I was like, I'm gonna put it on there. Nah, because I probably won't read it. And then I was like, okay, but you need to read it because this is another tearjerker. It actually came to me from, I Googled books similar to 1,000 Boy Kisses, like those tearjerkers, get you in your feelings, all that type of good stuff. And this was like one of the top searches for that. So, I mean, it's called a tragedy. My first love ended in tragedy. My second began with his brother. Huh? I have to figure out what's going on here because I truly don't know what to expect. And something that she witnesses in this book is just so crazy and like unthought of. So I don't know, I'm just really, really excited to be broken by this book because I have been staring at it for so long with just no energy to pick her up. And now that it's the end of the year, I just want to leave her in 2024, you know, get her done, read her, and hopefully she'll be a new favorite, but I'm just not sure what to expect. I wish I would have read it like when I was so excited about it 2 years ago, but I didn't. So now we are here and I truly plan on knocking this one off my list. I said it so many times I've lost count. It's ridiculous. But Darling Venom, Parker S. Huntington. Why do I know that name? Is that my Dark Romeo? Oh no. Okay, and actually speaking of 1,000 Boy Kisses, I have the second book, 1,000 Broken Pieces, and I want to read it so bad, but I don't feel like I'm ready because when the special edition of the first book came out, 1,000 Boy Kisses, or deluxe edition, whatever you want to call it, it had bonus chapters. And literally the first page, I was sobbing so freaking hard, like those type of sobs. I was not okay. So I don't know what this book is going to do to me. I feel like it's gonna hurt really bad, but like in the best way, because Poppy and Rune's story just, it has stuck with me. It has not left my mind whatsoever. So to get another viewpoint of that story, I'm very excited, but I am very nervous. This is my top book crying book. Like, I don't think anything has made me cry like this one. It was just so utterly beautiful and painful, and all the emotions that you're gonna wanna feel. So I don't wanna say too much because I don't wanna spoil the previous book, but this is from our FMC in the first book, her sister's point of view in this book. So I'm super excited. Get my heart broke again, it's fine. 1,000 Broken Pieces, that's what I'm expecting to feel like. And the next book is actually another buddy read, gonna be with my girl Tiara, because we read Divine Rivals together months and months ago. I don't know how we've come this far without reading this one. We talk about it literally all the time. She'll text me, hey, you wanna do this? Yeah, let's read it. We don't. And then I'll text her, hey, you wanna read this? Yeah, we don't. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on. We're going to read it. And I told her that I was putting it on my 10 before the end. So feel the pressure, Tiara. We have to get it done. We have to read her. Iris and Roman, like, I don't know the plot of them and like the magic between the two. I don't know, something about it was just really, really good and I really enjoyed it. Plus, it's a simple fantasy. It doesn't take a whole lot to understand what's going on and keep up with the story. It's very easy to follow along with and specifically fall in love with because these characters, like, I don't know, their bond just, it gets me all giddy. Like, I just love like I don't know, I think the Tortured Poets department when I think of Divine Rivals, just because probably the typewriter, but it's just so them coded and I'm so excited to get back into it. But I'm also like, I don't know. I feel so many emotions with books like this. Like, continuing off of something that I love is always so scary because you're either gonna love or hate it or just feel meh, and that's never a great feeling. So I genuinely hope I love this book and I feel like we will. I just need to read it. I just need to read it. I think I'm gonna text her soon and be like, okay, this is gonna be like the first one in December. We need to do this. Okay, and the last book on my list is something that I genuinely want to read so badly, but I'm terrified, like utterly terrified. So obviously with that being said, I'm sure you guys know I'm about to pick up a Chloe Walsh. Saving 6. We have to get back into this universe because I miss my characters. Like, oh my God, no. Because I said that and it was true, but then I thought characters and Johnny and Gibbsy and Shannon and Joey. Oh my God, Aoife. All of them, guys, like, I'm legit about to cry. It's not funny. It's not funny. So I genuinely thought, I know I'm delusional, but I thought, you know, the way the last book ended, I was like, okay, we got through all the rough stuff, we're good. Maybe we will be so much better off in this book. You know, obviously we have to deal with some of the repercussions of the bad things that happened in the last book, but we're in a better spot. Or so I thought. But no, we have to go back through all those times and we have to get Joey's point of view. Freaking yay, the older brother, the protector. This is going to be grand. I'm getting way over animated right now because this book freaks me out. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm so excited for it, but I'm so scared because these books have like torn at my heartstrings like no other books have. It's just so deep. And I don't think I've read many things as deep as this. So it really gets me in my emotions, and this was definitely, Keeping 13 was my biggest sob ever. That one actually hurt. Like, I genuinely felt like I needed to hug these characters and I couldn't, and it just frustrated me even more. This series, Boys of Tommen, it is the craziest ride. It is so well worth it, but it is so traumatizing. Like, I don't know, it's just so upsetting. But it's so good. Like, the way these characters persevere and they get through their situations and they get closer to each other and they come from nothing, but they love like everything. I don't know. There's so many things to say. Obviously, there will be a vlog because we have been vlogging all of our Boys of Tommen. And I feel like this one, like, people are getting me really scared. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you guys are freaking me out. So please stop talking about it. Just let me go in blind. Okay? Just when I say, I just hope it's not worse than Keeping 13, can you please just say, oh, psh, it's not, because you guys just looking at me like that, it's freaking me out. It's legit freaking me out, so please stop. Hey, and with that being said, that is all 10 books that I wish to read before the end of the year. And sitting here, like, thinking about all the books that I just went through, that is crazy. A girl can dream, though. Dream really big. I actually lined myself up for a very emotional month, but that's fine. It's fine. All right, guys, well, I love you so big. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. You guys are probably like, you're the craziest person I know, because who thinks that they can do that? Let's be real. I don't know. We're going to live in this little dream for a little bit longer. I'm gonna try to prove you guys wrong. I say that and I'm doubting myself the whole time. Okay, whatever. I will see you guys next time. Go read some amazing books. Have an amazing week, and I will see you shortly. I love you. Peace out.